Robert and Mikey Garcia say they weren't impressed with Terence Crawford, but won't fight him for at least 2 years. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
Beating champions and he's champion, but his last fight, you really can't give him a full credit for, like, you can't praise him too much for last fight. At least not yet. Maybe another fight coming up. Maybe if he fights another, top guy, maybe. But fighting Benavidez wasn't like the most spectacular win. At least not for me. The level of opponent, he should have fucking beat him up easy. I think so. And he didn't. It took him 12 rounds. And look, competitive.
Around and joking around because he's always saying that he wants to fight Mikey but I always give him a hard time telling him that Bobby already has like 4 fights lined up for him, and I mentioned the names at Top Rank, the possibility the fighters that he could fight for Top Rank. So I told him, I was telling him that he's got to wait 2 years because he's already booked for the next 2 years because 2 fights a year, so he won't be available. He's tight. I was just, he says I'll fight anybody, and then he will fight anybody. He's very talented. He'll be mostly everybody at Walter, I think.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Mikey Garcia and Robert Garcia aren't impressed and weren't impressed with Terence Crawford's last fight against Jose Benavidez, as Mikey Garcia stated. He didn't look good with Jose Benavidez. He expected Terence Bud Crawford to blow Jose Benavidez out the water, but he didn't do it. He went 12 rounds, as you heard in the audio, right? But Robert Garcia, who's the trainer and brother of Mikey Garcia, says, Terence Crawford, he admits that Terence Crawford has been asking for a fight with Mikey Garcia. He's been seeking out a fight with Mikey Garcia, but they've turned it down. And then he states that it'll take at least 2 years because Mikey Garcia is booked up for 2 years. He says that Mikey Garcia has fights, he's all booked up for the next 2 years. So for the foreseeable future, he doesn't see Terence Crawford in a position to get a shot. Well, I'm confused, which is very, very confusing. Because how could Robert Garcia and Mikey Garcia possibly say that he's booked up for the next 2 years? 2 years. I repeat this. He said that he's booked up for the next 2 years when they don't even know if he's going to get past Errol Spence or who he's going to fight after Errol Spence. So how could you possibly be booked up for the next 2 years? Now maybe they have an agreement in place should they get past Errol Spence, or maybe even if they lose to Errol Spence, they'll have a fight, a showdown with Vasyl Lomachenko. That's a strong possibility. But after you face Vasyl Lomachenko, so let's just do the homework. Let's just do the math here, people. Let's just do the homework. Let's just do the math here, okay? Mikey Garcia has a fight with Errol Spence coming up March 16th, Dallas, Texas, Cowboy Stadium. Be there or be square, right? After that, that's March of 2019, okay? Now, after that, I'm pretty sure Mikey Garcia is possibly, even if he wins the fight, he's going to need time off, and because it's probably going to be a brutal fight with Errol Spence Jr., right? Because he's moving up 2 weight classes to 47. Okay, let's just understand that. Okay, so now you're talking about March. Okay, so you got April, May, June. Let's say he fights Vasyl Lomachenko in August, right? Okay, and let's say he beats Vasyl Lomachenko. Who is Mikey Garcia scheduled to fight after Vasyl Lomachenko and Errol Spence? Because you stated that he's already booked up for the next 2 years. So you're saying that he won't be available to face Terence Crawford until 2021. Doesn't that just sound ludicrous? The more these guys talk, the more ludicrous they sound when they're trying to avoid fights. When they're trying to avoid fights. It just makes no sense. So who is Mikey Garcia scheduled to face in 2020? I'm curious to know who he's scheduled to face in 2020. His schedule's already booked up, right? He says that he's going to fight twice a year. This is what Robert Garcia said. So, okay, so this year he'll fight, let's say he fights Errol Spence and Vasyl Lomachenko this year. He says he's going to fight twice a year. So let's say he fights Errol Spence in March, and then let's say he fights Vasyl Lomachenko in August. So Mikey Garcia is going to take off the rest of 2019, right? According to Robert Garcia, right? So he's not going to. So let's say he fought in August because he fights Errol Spence March 16th. We already know this. So you got April, May, June, July, August. That's 5 months. Okay, let's say he fights Vasyl Lomachenko in August, maybe in September. Okay, so let's say he fights him in September. So he's not gonna fight in December? Not possible, huh? Okay, let's say he doesn't fight in 2019. Okay, now we got 2020. Who's he gonna fight in 2020? He already beat Adrian Broner. He already beat Mikey Garcia. Robert East at 135. Let's see he beats Errol Spence and he beats Vasyl Lomachenko. Is he gonna stay at 135? Is he gonna stay at 147? If he beats Errol Spence, is he gonna defend those titles against Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, any of those fighters? And if so, right, then it would make sense to unify against Terence Crawford, wouldn't it? That would only make sense, wouldn't it? Why would Terence Crawford not be in the plans when he's a belt holder? Okay, let's say a fight can't get done, and I know people are going to say, well, you know, Mikey Garcia is on the PBC side, so if he does beat Errol Spence, he's in the same side of the street with Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and those type of fights. So is he looking to fight Keith Thurman? Okay, let's say he fought Errol Spence, he beats Errol Spence. Let's just speak hypothetically. Let's say he beats Errol Spence, right? And let's say he beats Vasyl Lomachenko, right? But if he stays at 47, how's he gonna fight Lomachenko if he beat Errol Spence? Right? Is he gonna drop from 47 back down to 35? Fight Vasyl Lomachenko, then in 2020 go back up to 47? And face Keith Thurman, defend the titles? Because you have to understand that Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, should he beat Errol Spence and win the IBF title, they're gonna be chasing him down. We do understand that, right? They're not gonna let him get away with dropping down to 35, because if he drops down to 35, he's gonna have to relinquish that IBF strap. Because you're talking about a year not defending that strap. And possibly not even coming back to 47. So that would be taking a chance for the rest of the welterweight landscape, right? If he dropped down to 35 in, let's say, August or September and fight Vasyl Lomachenko. And then he's not looking to fight until, what, the spring of 2020. So what are these fighters to do? A fighter such as Sean Porter, who's looking to face Errol Spence sometime after he fights August. Should Sean Porter get past August, then he's looking to face Errol Spence in a unification bout. But if Errol Spence loses to Mikey Garcia, right, then he will be looking to fight Mikey Garcia in the unification bout. But that would force Mikey Garcia to vacate that title, correct? So if he vacated that title, who's he scheduled to fight? Vasyl Lomachenko at 35, right? Defend his titles at 35. So he faces Vasyl Lomachenko at 35, right? Now he relinquished the belt. He's not a title holder at 47. So what is he going to do? Jump back up to 47? They're going to push him back to the front of the line? If you go back up to 47 after you relinquish the title and you beat Vasyl Lomachenko, wouldn't it only make sense to fight Terence Crawford then? Because I'm pretty sure if that's the case, if Errol Spence was to lose to Mikey Garcia and Mikey Garcia vacated the title, I'm sure there'll be some sort of title eliminators, and some Sean Porter would be looking to face Sean Porter, and Terence Crawford would be looking to face somebody for that vacant IBF title. Whomever that may be. Maybe it's Danny Garcia, maybe it's Keith Thurman. But they'll be looking to unify against somebody for the vacant IBF title. So what is Mikey Garcia to do? He's going to jump back up to 47 and jump ahead of the line? That's going to be hard pressed to do. So who is he scheduled to fight? Just doesn't make sense, does it? Because if he goes down to 35, he vacates the title, the IBF title, right? And then I'm pretty sure maybe Errol Spence will get a fight for the vacant title versus another title holder, such as Sean Porter or Keith Thurman, maybe even Terence Crawford, right? But he be looking, somebody's going to be looking, these title holders are going to be looking to pick up that IBF strap. So they're going to be looking to have a fight for the vacant IBF strap. So what is he going to do? Jump back up to the front of the line and fight the champion? No. So how could he possibly be scheduled for the next 2 years? Seems hard pressed, right? Seems more like they just don't want to fight Terence Crawford. That's what it sounds like to me. And that's what it should sound like to you. They're not looking to fight Terence Crawford, who's the WBO champion. Right? Why you don't have 4 fights scheduled right now? That's unheard of. You have 4 fights scheduled right now that Terence Crawford is not part of the plans? Makes no sense, does it? Absolutely does not. It sounds ludicrous, doesn't it? Because it is ludicrous. That's why. But that's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Rule. Make sure y'all like and share these videos. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Robert and Mikey Garcia said they don't see themselves facing Terence Crawford for the next 2 years because Mikey Garcia is already booked up for the next 2 years. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Absolutely does not. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love.